Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glories to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, and the ones to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother, I'm Nawal Allah from GMS Chicago. And we're going to a quick lesson about the scripture right here. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12. And we're about to go into testimony too, all right, concerning as, for drinking, all right. And some bros could drink, and some bros cannot even drink at all, right? Some bros just can't handle drinking. And hey, there are times where you really need to put the bottle down for a while, all right. But nonetheless, here's 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. And yeah, for an example, we have like, consuming edibles. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you don't do it an excessive amount of it, all right? Because it can cause problems and it can be a distraction. Same thing with drinking. There's nothing wrong with drinking, but an excess amount of it can really put you to a lot of trouble. And I just saw an example, all right. I'm not gonna say the brother's name, but I saw an example where this brother got pulled over by the police, all right, and now his license is about to be suspended in about 45 days. He's about to get DOI, and that's no good, all right, because you're just burdening yourself if you keep doing an excess amount of whatever you're doing, especially for drinking, right? And one thing for sure, you shouldn't be really driving and drinking at all, right? Because you're only burdening yourself, and you don't want that. How are you gonna make it to camp? How are you gonna make it to class? How are you gonna go fellowship with the brothers if you're about to receive a DOI and you can't drive? All right. I'll keep reading. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. And there, just like again, of course, you got your different hobbies. Your hobbies, of course, are obviously, lawful. But hey, an excess, an amount of it is really just a distraction. It's gonna mess you up at some point. All right. Whether it be drinking or whatever things that you do in general that that is gonna screw you over if you keep doing an excess amount of it. All right. And like again, you don't want to be driving and drinking, because there, the Lord can put you in a scenario where a police does pull you over, and all of a sudden, you're about to get a DOI, even when you don't even blow into the breathalyzer. All right. The Lord can still give you a DOI. Right, the Lord can literally put the spirit on that officer to give you a DOI, and hey, really, the Lord just made you want to put the bottle down for a while. He may not want you to drink for a while. But hey, yeah, just don't be drinking and driving, right? You don't want to burn yourself. You don't want to burn any other brother in this truth either. Well, here's Sirach chapter 19, verse 1. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little. And yeah, You got your different distractions, and you just gotta know when to cut shit off, right? Goes for me first and foremost, right? Is hey, well, whatever an excess amount of things whatever you like to do in excess amount can really just be a distraction, right? Whether it be drinking, whatever, shit. Verse 2. Wine and woman will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent. And yeah, too much wine, too much woman, all these distractions can really just take you out of this truth. I'm gonna bring out Sirach chapter 37, verse 28. For all things are not profitable for all men, neither hath every soul pleasureth in everything. And there, you have bros that like to do their own stuff in their free time, and hey, whatever they like to do may not just be for you. All right, every brother's different. Every brother likes to do their own thing. You just gotta kind of figure out what kind of hobbies you like to do, and just fuck with it. Shit. Just because you see a brother that can drink a large amount of alcohol doesn't mean that you should too. Just because you see a brother doing edible control, it doesn't mean that you can control doing. Doesn't mean that you can control being high as well, right? Another thing too, just because a brother can deal with multiple women doesn't mean that you should too. Because hey, it just may not even work for you. These women, all right, especially now, all right, they can really put you into a lot of trouble if you're dealing with more than one. And hey, some bros can do it, some bros can't. But that doesn't mean that you should go on to be doing it anyways. You don't want to burn yourself or the body. You don't want to get into trouble. Ephesians 5:17. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And there, your full focus should be on this word, on Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, stay in the spirit and not get distracted with the things of this world. Verse 18. Be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. And there, not just alcohol in general, but hey, if you know that something is taking you off from the truth, you gotta cut that shit off. Or you gotta set it aside for a while, all right? I'll read that again. And be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. That's right. This wisdom, this truth, this should be your top priority, right? Same thing goes for me first and foremost. But nonetheless, that was just it to that lesson. All right. I hope it was edifying. Be cautious. All right. Don't be drinking and driving, especially because once you get a DUI, all right, you just really can't drive for a while. You really don't have your own transportation to go to camp or class, and it can be a real burden. But anyway, shalom.